horror isn't just coming in 2026, it's invading. 15 games, 15 different ways to make you sleep with the lights on. From indie cosmic nightmares to Resident Evil 9 blockbuster apocalypse, this list is the horror calendar you need to fear. Some are coming soon, some have just released, some will break the internet when they drop. If you love horror, if you're curious about horror, or you hate horror but can't look away, this video is for you. Let's count down the 15 games that are about to own 2026. Let's go. Okay, here's the thing about Nazralath. It looks like a painting came to life and started punching you in the face. Dark fantasy, absolutely gorgeous in that deeply unsettling way. But it's not pure horror. It's Souls-like action that happens to be horrifying. Think Dark Souls if Dark Souls hated you personally and made it beautiful. The world is dead, everything's rotted, twisted, wrong. But instead of running away screaming, you're fighting it, swinging weapons at abominations that look like they crawled out of a fever dream. This is your intro, not the scariest thing on the list, but visually, this is stunning in a way that makes you uncomfortable. It's the kind of game that makes you go, what am I looking at? Nazralath doesn't jump scare you, it haunts you, and it's the perfect opener.
Welcome. I do hope that your descent went without complications. Before you begin contributing, I would first like to share a few words about what we expect of you, and in turn, what you can expect of...
Crathos Deep just got revealed and, honestly, we don't know much, and that's the point. Cosmic horror, underwater adventure, indie team with big ideas. It's early stage, which means the mystery is real. Nobody's seen enough to spoil anything. But that teaser, dark, wet, wrong, the kind of thing that makes your brain go, I need to see more of this. And that's exactly what we want right now. Intrigue without answers. This is where we start escalating. Nazralath was beautiful horror. Crathos Deep is unknown horror. And unknown is always scarier. Keep watching, it gets worse from here.
Hello?
That wasn't in my head. There is something here.
Don't Nod made Remember Me and Life is Strange. Now they're making a sci-fi action horror game on a frozen planet with horror vibes, and it actually looks incredible. Aphelion isn't pure horror, it's sci-fi with teeth, narrative driven, beautiful environments, and underneath it all, something deeply wrong. It's the kind of game that makes you paranoid about the story. Imagine exploring an alien world, piecing together what happened, and slowly realising you're not bloody safe. That's tension, that's what keeps people watching. It's 2026, it's coming, and it looks like the kind of game that sticks with you long after you stop playing.
50 degrees below zero stood for a bite of frost that hurt and that must be guarded against. The blood in my body recoils before it. Blood is alive and wants to hide away and cover itself up from the fearful cold.
Oh, next is Shiver, a survival horror in a blizzard. Literally, reality warps in cold so extreme that the world stops making sense. It's atmospheric, it's niche, it's exactly the kind of game that hardcore horror fans obsess over while mainstream players they sleep on it. The visuals are gorgeous and terrible simultaneously. Snow doesn't just fall, it obscures everything. Visibility drops, you can't see threats, you can only hear them. We're climbing now. Nazralath was artistic, Crathos was mysterious, Aphelion was paranoid, and Shiver is isolated. The kind of horror that doesn't need jump scares, it just needs you to feel alone. Resident Evil 4 met Silent Hill in a forgotten village, and the Twilight Project is the result. Third-person survival horror, a mysterious town, cryptic lore, creatures that make zero sense. It's still in early stages, but the footage showed is absolutely gripping. You're getting the feeling that something is very, very wrong with this place. The NPCs act strange, the environment shifts, reality doesn't follow normal rules. It's got that Resident Evil 4 energy, tight, purposeful, but with Silent Hill's psychological weirdness layered on top. It's the kind of game where you're never comfortable, even in the safe areas. Listen, we're 2/3 through the list now, and the tension is thick. Let me know in the comments so far, which game do you like the most? A paranormal investigator on a haunted island. That's it. That's the premise. But the Occultist, it has a demo, which means people have played it, and the consensus is, it's creepy, like actually unsettling in a way that sticks creepy. It's not jump scare horror, it's narrative horror. You're investigating, uncovering secrets, and realizing that maybe you shouldn't have. The game knows you're curious, and it uses that against you. As a 2026 release, solid foundation, demo feedback is glowing. This is the kind of game that builds momentum through word of mouth, and it's about to explode.
Flowers she's given us. Such radiant blooms. So full of promise. Now, I must confess a change in plans. You shan't be entering the garden today. Take heart, faithful ones. The garden must still be tended. And tonight, you will be sown!
Rockstar's horror veterans made a Lovecraftian island game in Unreal Engine 5, and Ritual Tides is the result. It was supposed to be a late 2025 release, but we're still waiting, but they're saying that 2026 is when it's coming out. This is where the list gets dangerous. Ritual Tides isn't indie speculation, it's a team with proven horror expertise making something actually unsettling. The graphics are gorgeous, the atmosphere is suffocating. Lovecraftian horror means cosmic dread, the kind of terror that comes from realizing you're insignificant, that the universe, it doesn't care about you.
Has gone dark. Last report suggests miners dug too deep and may have uncovered something they weren't meant to find.
April 16th, 2026, that's the date, that's real. Underwater, Lovecraftian puzzle horror. You're descended into darkness where light doesn't reach and things that shouldn't exist live in the crushing deep. The cosmic abyss isn't just action, it's about claustrophobia. Every room is a prison, every puzzle is a choice between two terrible options. Water pressure is real, oxygen is limited, you will drown. Firm release date adds credibility. This is happening in April, and when it does, horror fans are going to lose it. The first sinking city built a cult, Lovecraftian detective noir in a flooded city. Weird, unsettling, and absolutely unhinged in the best way. The sequel is coming first half of 2026. Yeah, it got delayed, but that's because they're building something special, they said. Sinking City 2 leans into paranoia. You're investigating impossible crimes in the city, that doesn't follow normal physics. NPCs lie, reality shifts, you question your sanity. This is horror through investigation, not combat, not running, thinking, piecing together something that your brain refuses to accept. The IP has weight, fans have been waiting for this, and when Sinking City 2 drops, it's going to dominate horror conversations.
How did I end up in this place?
A frenzy. What is life? An illusion.
No, get back!
A shadow.
Still alive?
Thanks to the sun.
No!
A fiction. And this life is but a dream. And dreams are only dreams.
Blumhouse made a video game, Crisol. Theatre of Islands is a bloody, twisted Bioshock light that just released February the 10th, 2026. It's fresh, it's out now, and the reviews are very positive. People are playing it right now and posting about how disturbing it is. Blumhouse's horror DNA is coded in every frame. Theatre of Idols isn't scary, it's revolting. Body horror, philosophical dread, the kind of game that makes you feel dirty after playing. Reading some of the reviews, they're saying that the tension is done very well. It throws a lot at you and makes you complicit. It makes you feel like you can handle what's coming, but you cannot. This game is a great example of a survival horror game. Michael Myers, asymmetric multiplayer, campaign, horror royalty meeting modern game design. September the 8th, 2026. You know what? Because that's Halloween season. This is the game horror fans have been waiting for. Asymmetric horror multiplayer is tense because one player has all the power and everybody else is prey. You know Michael Myers doesn't negotiate, he doesn't show mercy, he just hunts. But what I love is there's a campaign, story, character. This isn't just a multiplayer mode like Dead by Daylight, there's a full experience here. Halloween is an institution, Michael Myers is iconic, and you're putting that in a modern game? This is going to define October 2026. Streamers will be streaming it, and horror fans will be obsessed. Sons of Forest had us building bases in a nightmare. Now Forest 3 is coming, and the Game Awards 2025 trailer hit with 1.1 million views and climbing. You know that's not indie numbers, that's mainstream numbers. Sci-fi survival horror, cannibal mutants, bases under siege. You're not just surviving, you're resisting something that wants you dead. Forest 3 isn't story heavy like Silent Hill. It's grind heavy like Dark Souls mixed with survival game tension. Build, survive, repeat, but every night it brings new threats. The TGA trailer proved the fanbase is massive. When Forest 3 launches, it's going to be a cultural moment for survival horror. Ill's trailer hit 4.4 million views, the same team that made Longlegs, brutal body horror FPS that looks like a fever dream. This is where the list goes insane. Ill isn't atmospheric, it's visceral, flesh-based horror, mutilations, abominations that shouldn't exist in the same dimensions as reality. It's FPS, which means you're not escaping, you're fighting these horrors with bullets and desperation. Every gunshot feels like an act of defiance against biology itself. Over 4.4 million people watched that trailer. That's not horror niche, that's cultural phenomenon. Horror fans, mainstream audiences, even people who hate horror are watching it because it's undeniable. This game is gonna be awesome. Kojima, Peel, PT vibes. OD Nog is the mysterious horror game nobody expected. Teasers hit 2 million plus views. That's Kojima pulling casual audiences into horror. That's Peel's genre-defining horror sensibility translated into interactive media. The pitch? Blur the lines between games and films, which means this isn't a traditional horror game. It's an experience, a psychological event, something that exists in the space between cinema and interactivity. OD Knock represents horror's future, where established filmmakers, they bring cinematic terror into gaming, where horror transcends format.
Hello? Yes.
Who was it?
Dunno. They asked for Miss Ashcroft and then they hung up on me. Rude.
Oh, you're FBI? Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
Resident Evil 9, February the 27th, 2026. This is the reason you clicked this video. RE9 is horror's tentpole, the franchise that defined survival horror, the game that casual audiences care about as much as hardcore horror fans. You know, Michael Myers is iconic, Freddy Krueger is a legend, but Resident Evil, RE is the currency of modern horror. Requiem is the blockbuster, the event, the game that horror studios are terrified of because Capcom just raised the bar for everyone. 4.5 million people are invested, 5 million have claimed it. When this launches, it won't just dominate horror, it'll dominate gaming. That's your finale, that's the payoff, that's why this list matters. Everything leading up to RE9 is the build, RE Requiem is the explosion, and horror's next era, it starts February the 27th, 2026. That's the 15 from Nazralath's twisted art to RE Requiem's blockbuster terror. Horror is different in 2026. If you're hyped for any of these, drop it in the comments. Horror fans, let's talk. If you made it this far, you're basically committed to being scared. Subscribe so you don't miss the deep dives when these games launch. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.